What's happening, everybody? Tobin here with you. Thank you for tuning on in. Hey, look, if you are a fan of the content here, let me tell you about something. We got ourselves the Tobin and Leroy radio show, as many of you know. That is now available for you on the Ticket Miami's YouTube page, youtube.com/TheTicketMiami. I will put the description in the link. You guys can go over there, subscribe, and also subscribe to the Tobin and Leroy podcast. 4 episodes up for you every single day for your listening pleasure. You guys can also subscribe over on Twitch. 7-Eyed Ticket is the channel over there. So lots of ways to consume the radio show, and hope you guys do that, as we appreciate all the support you guys can give us. It means the world, and we appreciate all the growth you guys have given to us as a community. Meanwhile, I got the goosies yesterday, dude. I got goosed up and loosed up when it came to Miami Heat whaling season, because it was pure harpoon sharpening yesterday. As just minding our own business, you know, it's a Sunday night. I'm watching Time Traveler's Wife with the missus, but which I got my own thoughts on as an entity, as a show. I will say I am hooked after 3 episodes, but I have some serious questions about this guy's ethics as a time traveler. So this picture comes across. I think I see it on Heat vs. Haters at first. So shout out to those guys. Great Twitter account. And it's a picture of Jimmy Butler having dinner at a birthday with Donovan Mitchell, to which I immediately say, is this real? Is this current? Because you always got to be crazy. I got to see where it comes from, the post, the Instagrams, where's it coming from, all that. And you got to figure I was like, it's got to be recent. These are all the initial thoughts I'm going through. Got to be recent, because Jimmy's wearing some big face coffee gear. He's wearing that hat that he wore during the playoffs, the bucket hat. And so turns out it was a birthday dinner for Chris Brickley, who is Jimmy Butler's trainer. If you guys see the late workout videos that Jimmy Butler does throughout the postseason, Chris Brickley is the guy that he's doing the workouts with. So they're celebrating his birthday. But Jimmy Butler is at this dinner with Donovan Mitchell. I don't know if Chris works with Donovan Mitchell in the offseason. I know that he's working with Jimmy Butler throughout the season, so that's his guy. I don't know what the relationship is there, but it's funny enough that the guy that everybody knows is going to be surrounding a lot of the Miami Heat rumors this offseason, I would say the number one guy so far has been Donovan Mitchell. We talked about this last week with Bradley Beal. I'm like, Bradley Beal rumors, I don't really put a lot of stock into him. I think Bradley Beal talks a lot about wanting to be wanted, but he doesn't really want to go anywhere. Like, he wants to just stay in Washington, get his max deals. Good for him. Donovan Mitchell, I think, is a plan I always thought with the Miami Heat was going to happen. I didn't see it happening this quick just because of his contract situation. I figured this was going to be something that happens down the road, but this NBA is moving fast. Disgruntled stars make moves and seem to make their way out at a record pace. So maybe it's not that crazy to think that Donovan Mitchell could be on the run. But the thing that I find funny about it is, there is noise around it. We know that there is going to be a lot of this surrounding the Miami Heat this offseason. And so for Jimmy Butler to find himself in an Instagram photo with Donovan Mitchell at the almost start of the offseason, we got a few finals games left, is pretty hilarious, because this is going to be his thing. His trainer even put a funny Photoshop that somebody made of and replaced Chris Brickley's head with Pat Riley. And he's like, why does Pat Riley have my chains and tats? And so they're all probably laughing about this because they know Donovan Mitchell hanging with Jimmy Butler. And is it crazy to think that Jimmy Butler and Donovan Mitchell yesterday had some kind of a talk about, how do we make this happen? What would it be like if we played with each other? What would it be like? What could we have brought to the table? Man, I really hate playing with Rudy Gobert. How would you like to play with Bam Adebayo? Oh, I would love it because we're really, really close friends. Yeah, I would love it too. And it's just, it's a thing, dude. Like, I'm sorry. There are some things, people say, Tobin, you're reaching here. You're making a mountain out of a molehill. You're looking for stuff. You're reaching. Stretch Armstrong. You can't say this isn't a thing. You can't say to me that Donovan Mitchell is out here having birthday dinners with Jimmy Butler's trainer and they're not discussing what's going on with that deal. You're not gonna sell me on that. I'm sorry. This is just like, like, is there an edit that people gonna be like, oh, they're trolling? Yeah, maybe, but I think that there genuinely are probably talks there that are going on. Hey, how do we make this thing happen? This is how this has always happened. This is how Jimmy Butler got Kyle Lowry here. We're talking about, player relationships are important. Dwayne Wade being the conduit to Jimmy Butler getting down here in the first place. Dwayne Wade maybe being the conduit to Donovan Mitchell ending up with the Miami Heat. Now it's a little bit different because Dwayne Wade is a owner of the Jazz. Is he there on a secret stealth mission that I called a year ago? Yeah, perhaps. Perhaps he is. Does it feel like all the wheels are in motion for that? And that, all the reporting is that Donovan Mitchell is going to ask out and go to a glamour market like Miami. Is everybody already dismissing the idea of him going to the New York Knicks? Because everybody should dismiss the idea of him going to the New York Knicks because the New York Knicks always think they're going to get somebody and they never get anybody. Is he taking a picture with RJ Barrett? Julius Randle? I don't see it. So when he's taking a picture with Jimmy Butler, how is it not all googly eye emojis and looking at operations and firing up the trade machines and all that type of stuff? How does that not immediately come to your head with what the Miami Heat are going through? I tell you what, it beats the holy hell out of Patrick Beverley, because Patrick Beverley went on I think it was First Take, maybe it was Keyshawn, Max, and J. Will. I don't know. I saw it was a clip that was surfacing around the internet about him. What are the Miami Heat going to do? And Jay Williams is like, are they going to go get Donovan Mitchell? They're going to get Bradley Beal? And Patrick Beverley just pops in and goes, are they going to trade for Patrick Beverley? And like, on its front, I would be okay with Patrick Beverley being on the Miami Heat. Tenacious, probably, a guy that everybody hates going against, but everybody loves having. I just think that having a defensive first guard is like the last thing this Miami Heat team could use. Like, they need to get scoring punch in a very, very desperate way. They need to find a way to help Jimmy Butler with scoring production during the playoffs. It's so clear. They got like their last legs of it on Goran Dragic in the bubble, and they need to find somebody to be that sidekick to Jimmy Butler. Maybe it will be Bam Adebayo stepping up even more next year, but I think that they really do need that bona fide shot creator in the backcourt who can make things happen. So the Patrick Beverley thing is a cute thing, and it's hilarious that he's out here because years ago he was like, I'll never forget that Miami cut me, and now he's openly asking Miami to trade him, which I think is going to be an interesting thing because you see, of all the teams and all the situations out here right now, right, with the East and Milwaukee's kind of set, Brooklyn seems like it's going in the direction of keeping KD and Kyrie. Maybe some Molotov cocktail blows that up. I don't know. But that's kind of set for right now. Chicago with Zach LaVine. That's another one that's out there that we haven't really touched on as far as Wales are concerned. So maybe that's going to be a thing. But I think most free agents or disgruntled stars would look at the Heat situation and see Jimmy Butler and see what he was going through this year. And especially these very talented scorers, and like, man, I'd love to play next to Jimmy Butler. I would love to play next to that dude and play on that team that plays so hard and can make all these guys out of nowhere and bring my talents and bring something to that franchise. So it just so happens, though, that the first social media thing that comes out is Jimmy Butler with Donovan Mitchell, which is funny on a couple fronts. Not only because he is the guy that I think is going to have the most buzz for Heat fans this offseason. I think it would probably be, if we had to put it, the guys who are number one, I put him number one. I personally would want Damian Lillard number two. I don't think Damian's going to go anywhere, but let's just say it was a pipe dream. Then Bradley Beal, but I don't think he's going to go anywhere because he just likes to be wanted. And then Zach LaVine is an interesting one that's been thrown in there too. Maybe there's some Brandon Ingram stuff that throws up. But if we're talking about like some of the best scoring talent that could be out there to be had for the Miami Heat, Donovan Mitchell, if he demands a trade, is definitely the most intriguing. Definitely the most intriguing to me. And it's intriguing from the Jimmy Butler standpoint because of the Dwayne Wade tie. Like that is an interesting thing. Like I wonder if D Wade is on the FaceTime there yesterday and it's just like, shh, don't tell Danny Ainge I'm on this call. Shh, shh. But that was a Harpoon Sharpen when I saw that yesterday, man. I was like, huh. Interesting. Very interesting. I did see also that Victor Oladipo had come out and he had put a cool post for Tyler Herro where he was just saying, my brother for life, was wearing his Snarl t-shirt and Tyler Herro had liked the support from Victor Oladipo. And that's going to be an interesting one because two guys that I think probably saw their futures in Miami. And, cannot rule out that Tyler Herro will be back, obviously. 22 years old, 6th man of the year, fantastic year for the Miami Heat. But I just imagine if, the Miami Heat do make some kind of a seismic move this offseason, that it's tough to imagine Tyler Herro not being involved in those talks. And it's also, I was wondering this last week, and I talked about this a little bit on the show, is just I wonder from Tyler's standpoint, we always hear about players who get frustrated with their roles on the team or their status with the team or their standing with the team. This happened with Jimmy Butler in the 76ers, happened with him in the Bulls, happens with a lot of guys. And I wonder for Tyler if there is a piece of him that's just you know what? I'm never going to be the guy here. I want to be the guy somewhere. I want to go X and spread my wings a little bit. Now maybe he still thinks he can be the guy here because, his popularity here, the growth that he has had as a player over the last couple of years has been seismic. If he could take another leap, that would, probably negate a lot of this talk and trade stuff. I think it would be huge for the Miami Heat. I just wonder though, when Pat Riley comes out and he's this is about two-way players and come earn your starting job and all that type of stuff. Does Tyler Herro use that as fuel, or is that a kick rocks moment where you tell the franchise hey man, maybe it is best that we go in our separate ways, especially be interesting to know what the extension talks are going to kind of be like for Miami, because it felt like with Bam, it was just such an easy decision for them to do the max extension. I feel like Tyler Herro, if he's on any other team, he gets a max extension. It's not even a question off of his rookie contract. With this team, I think they do have questions. I think they do are we going to go and invest $150 something million in Tyler Herro? I'm really fascinated for this offseason with Miami. Really, really am. But for the first peek at Jimmy Butler that we have since Game 7, and Jimmy had posted on his Instagram this past week. He had posted, I believe, a little recap of the season. This up here for you. Loading. He had posted the finality of the season. I believe the last thing was a video of him missing the shot, and it's gonna be that's gonna stick with him throughout this offseason. The idea that, man, it was that close to possibly playing in the NBA Finals, and they're gonna be going through it all, but he is. He is, I'm sure coming back motivated for a lot. He tweeted out, or he posted on Instagram, through the ups and downs, one seeded and no finals. Bye, year 11. So, interesting to see what year 12 is going to bring for him. That's for sure. Definitely going to be interesting to see what brings for him in this upcoming season and what this offseason is going to bring for the Miami Heat. But I know that without seeing that picture, I think got Heat Nation going in a big time way.